Hello there. In this video I'm going to show you how you can make this personalised alchemy earring, which is in this triangular outline. So it's personalised with the letter A from the alphabet, but you could use any symbol. And we're going to add these three alchemy symbols in this case. So we're using Fluid Designer for 3D printing. So I'm going to use a Harrington font. So I'm going to use this letter A here from the Harrington fonts folder, and I'm also going to use some alchemy symbols. I'm going to use some of the patterns from here. So it's Patterns Alchemy. Because I'm making an earring, I'm going to go to the earrings folder first of all, and as you can see there are a number of different shapes of earring and different sizes as well. I'm going to use this 15mm triangular one. So I just drag and drop that object onto the workspace. I'll just switch on screencast keys so you can see key presses I make. So what I want to do, I just click Group Library here to refresh this file list. And I'm going to use these alchemy patterns. The first object I'm going to add to here is antimony. And I want 001. I don't want 001A. 001A will have the box around it. I just want 001. So I do that by going to File and Append, and we just go up through the menu system in Fluid Design until we get to Groups. This shows us all the patterns on our system, and I want Patterns Alchemy, and I want Antimony, and I want 001. So I'm going to append that object from the library. And when I select that, if I try and move it, notice it moves the triangle. Well, that's because the proportional editing is on. If that happens, just press the O key on the keyboard. That'll switch proportional editing off. That doesn't always happen. It just depends how the system's been saved last time. So I'm going to use Cinnabar pattern now. So again, I go to File and Append. Just go up through the menu system. We're still in Alchemy Patterns folder. So I want Cinnabar pattern. I want the object and append that from the library. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to position that one so it's on top of the first one, and then I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. That's just the style I'm going to use here. So now I want my another pattern I'm going to add to this, and I'm going to use this iron pattern. So again, I go to File and Append, go up through the menu system, and I want Fire Pattern, and I want 001, and append that from the library. Oops, selected the wrong one there, definitely. Let me just double check. Iron Pattern I want. I've selected Fire instead of Iron, so let me go to Iron. Iron Pattern, append that from the library, that's the one I want. And again, I'm just going to position this one over here. Okay. And this time I want to move it 10 to the right. So I'm just gone back from millimeters to centimeters there. So that's moved it 1 centimeters to the right and 1 centimeter up. In other words, 10 millimeters to the right and 10 millimeters up. So now what I want to do is to join these three objects together, and I can do that by holding down the Shift key. Selects all three objects and goes to Tools, Object Tools and Join. Now I want to position them more or less in the middle of this triangle. Now I'm going to leave a bit of space at the bottom to put my letter A. So I want to scale this down. Now we can scale in Fluid Designer by pressing S on the keyboard for scale. And if I just move the mouse now slowly, okay, so I want something like that. It's not quite right yet, but always when you scale, you must do Control A and apply the scale, because that will reset the thickness. This object at the moment is controlled by this cross section over here. It's 1 by 2. Now I'm going to change that in a minute, but it is important that you maintain that. Otherwise you won't know the size of this object. Now I need to scale this down a little bit more, so I'm going to switch off the snap and press S on the keyboard, and I want to scale it down, and then do Control A and apply the scale. Let's make sure I get scale there. And what I want to do is I want it to be overlapping at the top and overlapping at the bottom and overlapping at the side, because clearly we need a solid object when we print. Now if you look at that object at the moment, it's got a different cross section from the triangle. Now I really want the cross section of the triangle for my finished object. I want 1 by 1. I don't want anything too thick if it's going to be an earring. So if I select the Alchemy symbols and hold down the Shift key and select the triangle and go to Tools, Object, Tools and join them, notice that the cross section of the Alchemy symbols becomes the same as the cross section of the triangle. And that's what I want. I want that smaller thickness. I want 1 by 1 as the thickness. If you wanted to make a pendant or something, you could always thicken it up. Okay, these are smart objects. There's parametric smart objects. You can change the cross section whenever you want, as long as you do Control A and apply the scale. Now what I want to do is to, from my Harrington Fonts folder, I want to append the letter A. So I'm going to go to File and Append. Go up through the menu system until you get to Groups. I want Alphabet Harrington Font A, Object, Harrington Font A, and append that from the library. And just drag that down and decide where you want to locate it. Now I'm going to put it there. I'm not going to go too far down, because you've got to take into account the length of this. If you want to see the length, you can use the ruler here, and I can measure from the top to the bottom, and so that's about 34-35 millimeters. So you don't want to go any lower than that really. And again, this has got a cross section, default cross section of 1 by 2 millimeters. But if I hold down the Shift key, select the triangle, go to Tools, Object, Tools and Join, it will take on the cross section of the triangle. And that's essentially my finished object now. So what I would normally do is go to File and export it. I usually use Wavefront format object. I saved it earlier as Personalised Alchemy Earring. And then you must go to Netfab Basic and run it through the repair procedure there. And in Netfab it will tell you that the volume of this is 0.24 centimeters cubed. That equates to about 2.4 grams. It is possible in Fluid Designer, if you want, you can check the weight here by going to, first of all, you must convert this to a mesh. You can't find the weight of a curve, which is what it was. And if you click on 3D printing and click on volume, it will calculate the volume for you, and again it should be 0.24 centimeters cubed, which is about 2.4 grams, which is perfectly acceptable. So that's how you can create this personalised Alchemy earring using Fluid Designer for 3D printing. Thank you.